Hello everyone, Wednesday, February 27, 2019. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day. Surprise, surprise, new comic book video time right now. A pretty good week for books. I'm going to show you what I got, and then I picked up a couple of older books as well, and then I got a question from a viewer that we'll get to in a little bit. So let's jump right into the books. Book number 1, Heroes in Crisis number 6. This was the cover I picked up, a Harley cover. Batman Beyond 29 B cover, again, anything with the Joker, I'm going to be all over that. Batgirl 32 B cover, really nice looking cover. Again, don't need to say anything more about that. DC's been, for the most part, having really nice B covers, and this was no exception on the Batgirl. Shazam number 3 B cover, I really like that cover. Again, movies coming out, I'm looking forward to seeing the movie. I think it's going to have a nice mix of action and some comedic aspects to it, kind of in the terms of like Deadpool, a lot of action and some comedy. And honestly, I think it's going to work real well for the Shazam movie. This is Spawn 294 Virgin cover. There was a black and white Matina cover. I wasn't real wild about that one, so I just picked up a couple of these here. Action Comics 1008 B cover. Daredevil number 2. Number 1 I thought was a pretty good story. Kind of holding my breath, hoping that it's going to be a nice story run, because I am a big Daredevil fan, as you know, and it's been a while since there's been a really good Daredevil storyline. Alex Ross, Captain America number 8. Cover purchase only. No one does Captain America like Alex Ross. That is just a fantastic looking cover right there. That's why he is a legend. Young Justice number 1. Haven't read this one, but I was not wild about the $4.99 price point on this one here. So DC seems to be having a process of charging $5 for their number 1s. They need to get away from doing that. This is a cover purchase, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 36. Just hold it right there. I thought that was a really cool looking cover, so I picked one of those up. Again, it's okay to buy books based off of the cover. Someone had sent me a message saying that they thought that was a waste of money to buy it just for the cover. This is artwork. You can buy it for the cover, so I have no problem doing that. We've stated that in a lot of videos. Wonder Woman 65, regular cover A. Here. Bone Parish 7 A cover. Really enjoying this storyline. And then Bone Parish 7 B cover. Kind of a wicked looking cover right there. Detective $9.99, one away from 1,000. That's going to be the big one. Again, it's an expensive book. It's like a $9 book. But I bought the Bernie Wrightsons because, you know, regardless of what it is, 1,000 is a milestone, and you should have a couple of those for your collection. So there's that there. $9.99. Wonder Woman 65 B cover. Really nice cover. Again, they're doing them really well with Wonder Woman and Catwoman. Here is my cover of the week. Ice Cream Man, number 10. That is just a creepy cover. Licking that ice cream cone with that nasty tongue and those pointy teeth, and he's kind of leering at that little boy in the background, so it's kind of creepy all around. They had another cover for this one that my shop did not get in, and also the Old Lady Harley did not come in on my shop. They didn't get their orders in, so I'm not sure why, but they didn't, and I'm sure I'll get those at a later date. Couple older books I picked up. Nothing spectacular. This is an Avengers 106. The reason I grabbed this one here, this is a double cover. A double cover. Again, anything double cover, I'm going to buy those because they're rare, they're hard to find, it's kind of cool. This will just go into my private collection right here. And again, when you're grading double cover books, it's not the first cover, it's the inner cover, or the triple cover, it's the third cover, and so on. If you're lucky enough to find a quad cover, I haven't seen a lot of those in my life, but whenever I find a double cover, I'm going to buy them. And then a book from 1957. I love the horror genre. This is Black Magic. It's number 35, but in the price guide, it's going to be volume 6, issue number 2. There's that. This is not a high-grade book, VG-ish. But again, 10-center, really cool, 50s feel as it relates to, there's the damsel in distress, there's the evil force. I just love books like this. I've always loved books like this, and whenever I can find them at a halfway decent price, I'm going to pick them up. So there's that. Those were a couple of the older books I picked up. Now, I had a comment from a viewer who asked me, was there ever a cover that you were surprised was put out and was allowed to go to publication? And there is a cover that I've always thought was different. This comes from my private collection. This is a high-grade book here. And of course, this is Green Lantern 85. This is the famous heroine cover. And you can see the needle right there. Now, this was surprising to me for the simple fact that comic books were drawn towards kids. Okay, adults weren't buying a lot of comic books. Well, there were adults, but for the most part, these were generated towards children. And here you have a book for a kid that has a heroine needle on the cover. And there's the superheroes, the superheroes. And I always thought that this was very surprising that this book made it to the publication. It is a controversial cover. It's still a controversial cover. Everybody talks about the famous heroine cover, and they call it the drug issue. But again, this one here, I hope that answered your question. If you look at it, now think about the time. This is 1971, I believe, when this came out. So think about it. I mean, the drug culture was real big with the hippies in the late 60s, early 70s. So I can kind of see that aspect of it. But to put that out there for a children's product, a kid's product, basically is what it was. Heroin needle and all that. To me, very surprising that would be put out there. So there was that there. But, I have a few of these in my collection because I love that cover. And again, I'm a Green Lantern fan, but I love that cover right there. So those are the books right there. I have a question for you. Someone asked me, what type, when I had my space available, when I had my space open, I was selling my books, if I had discounts that I gave to my customers. Now, I did give discounts to my customers, depended on who they were. Now, I didn't sell the new books. I sold old back issue books. So some back issues you can do, bigger discounts than others. But old vintage in high grade, don't give a lot of discounts on that. So my question is to you: when you go to your local comic book store and you give them your money and you give them their purchase, what type of discounts are you looking for? What do you like to see your local LCS give you? Free bags and boards. Some shops give discounts on new release, on new issues, which that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. They're big, the issues. A bag and board is really big because you want to be able to protect your book when you get it. That's something there. But there's a new program coming out here locally here in town. I'm sure more people are going to hear about it, where you're able to order books online on your phone, on your home computer, and do basically your diamond order to your local comic book store. It's starting to come here in Las Vegas. I was lucky enough to be a tester for the shop that I do my shopping at, Cosmic Comics. And, there's a lot of aspects of it that are really, really good. And they usually at the shop, they give you a discount on back issues, supplies, 20%, things of that nature. But now it's going to be a financial bump when you spend an extra, a certain amount of money, you're going to get a certain amount of store credit that goes along with it. So my question to you is that something that would make you go to that shop or go to a shop if they're going to give you a cash incentive as far as credit, not cash in your pocket, but credit, store credit? Or is it basically just comfort with the store, comfort with the staff that you go to, and anything that you get other than that is just a bonus? So there was that there. And then finally, the last question I had, someone asked me about people paying a premium for vintage books. Now, if you have a book that is in the 3.5, 4.0, 4.5 area, you can get those books at cover. Not at cover, excuse me, but at price guide, listing. But if you start talking about higher grade books, now I'm talking in the 7 and up range, honestly, as a buyer or as a seller, you should expect to pay a little bit more of a premium for a book like that because they're just too hard to find. So not saying that, you know, everybody does that, but if you look at a lot of things, if you get high-grade books that are especially in the, you know, 8, 5, 9 range for 12-cent books, you know, late silver, early bronze, you're going to pay a premium for that. And that's just how the market dictates right now. So I love it when people complain about that. You know, you don't look at the market enough, obviously, to understand that, you know, a premium high-grade book is going to get a premium high-grade price. So there's that. So that was just kind of a little, you know, shot at the end. Excuse me 1 second. It is a Code Red. It is not a beer. I love Code Red. So that's all we have this week. Again, if you enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button. If you know somebody who might like it, tell them to subscribe. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. I appreciate all the support. So I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and I'll see you in a few days.